Welcome back. Our Doctor on Call is here to answer your health questions today. We're pleased to welcome back again Dr. Ryan Stanton, an emergency department physician with the University of Kentucky. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're very good at reminding us of the days that are busy for you guys in the emergency department. You mentioned when the seasons change, people get outside. Halloween is a time when a lot of people are on guard for pranks, tricks, but also you have to worry about accidents with all those kids in the roads. What are some of the things that you usually see in the ER?
Well, the first and most important thing is actually eyes. People getting their eyes poked out. And that's the number one injury, second being burns, and third actually being when children come in contact with cars, so being hit by cars. So there's three main things that we recommend. One, we need to be very aware of the costumes that we're using. They're usually long. They're usually getting close to those candles that most people are using for jack-o'-lanterns. You need to be aware of that. Have fire retardant clothing, or actually something a little bit shorter that's not going to be in contact with that. Wigs are really bad about that. Masks make it difficult to see that. Second is make sure that they're crossing at crosswalks, at corners, watching both ways. They're not darting out. These kids are very excited about getting the next thing of candy, which I know my days when I'd go darting across the road to get that next Snickers bar. And they do the exact same thing. So you need to be there. You need to stress to your children, look both ways, be aware, and be with them, and keep them safe and out of our ERs.
Good thing Halloween trick-or-treat starts here in Lexington a little bit earlier at 5 o'clock, so hopefully it'll still be a little bit of daylight out there to avoid some of those accidents. We have a question actually coming from Mary in the Weather Center. We had a big discussion when you were here last time because it was just after the deaths of marathon runners in the Detroit Marathon, and Mary is an avid runner. She talks about it all the time, and she wanted to know, as some people have asked, what is the health risk to runners? Of course, it's uncommon to see that many fatalities from a marathon run, but you were telling us last week off the air, we thought we should share it with our viewers, that runners do have different health issues they need to consider.
Well, they do. But the first thing, and most importantly, Mary, is that you're probably at more risk driving to the station today than by actually running. People can run. The average death is about for every 3 million hours of running. And if you've run that much, you know, you're getting close to the end anyway. But there's only about 6 deaths a year associated with running. So it's very low. And actually an interesting study came out that showed that in cities where a marathon is going on, that it's actually safer because people aren't driving on those roads. So the death rate actually goes down when marathons are taking place. Now, there is risk, and the most important risk and most likely risk is that these events uncover medical conditions you wouldn't normally know about. This is a type of stress test. The most common stress test we do for hearts is putting you on a treadmill. So you can imagine 26 miles is quite the stress test for a heart. And so a lot of people's underlying medical conditions come up during these times. So if you're really getting into this as somebody who's not very active, then you probably should see a doctor, get checked out before you go and try to run a marathon, and train very well. And if you start having any symptoms, chest pain, lightheadedness, any weakness, not feeling right, you need to stop. Don't push it. And that's the most important thing when it comes to these runners. But for everybody out there who likes to run, it's still safe.
Yeah, just be smart about it. And we have another question, this one from our website, from Donna. Never had bad allergies until I moved to Kentucky. Now every fall and spring I can't hardly breathe. Is it me or is it something in the bluegrass?
Well, by moving to Kentucky, you've won the allergy lottery. This is the #1 state for allergies almost consistently. Between Lexington and Louisville, we're always tend to be in the top 10. And in 2008, we took spring and fall allergy honors. So by coming into the state, we pay for this beautiful environment that we live in. Lots of pollens, lots of moisture, lots of molds, lots of other environmental allergies that really get people going. So it's not unusual that when you come to Kentucky, your allergies really get out of hand. We also have a low number of allergists that can manage that. But if you have those type of symptoms, if you're really getting stuffy, especially in the fall and spring, you need to see your doctor and get on some long-term treatment. And that may get you through these hard times in this area.
Wonderful. Great answers as always. Thank you so much. He'll be back in the coming weeks. And if you have a question for Dr. Stanton, our Doctor on Call, just visit the health section of WTVQ.com and let us know. You may see it in a future segment.